for our lovely portal, the Lionsgate 1, which is closing today, if I remember correctly, and we have a full moon coming. We are going to have channeled guidance the way Maria does it. So I had my lovely layout, the cards, you'll see them in a community post, and I'm going to simply channel and then we'll chit chat. Welcome anybody who's new. 5D Mystic, Spiritual Self-Help. It's for people who are self-aware, accountable, and regulating. They want to regulate their emotions. So you pull yourself close, and every part of your being is deserving of love. So you know that humanity is not inherently good or evil, that everyone can have basically a distorted lens. So let me, again, begin before I get sidetracked and keep talking to you. Listen to the wisdom of the body, become aware, but we are going to need to first know that you are ruled by emotions and then your thoughts. And your thoughts, well, okay, side note. Let me start with Sadhguru. Seeking means admitting that you don't know. Once you have cleared your slate, truth can imprint itself upon it. I had a couple of late IHP shows last night where I tried to share with you all what this is. I know of my implicit, explicit biases. I put them to the side. That's why my personality. It's always me. The essence of me, the true spirituality, human being mystic will know what I'm talking about. The ones with mantles, they don't. So we're going to leave them to the side. If you are really looking for the truth, don't assume anything. Just seek. In fact, the divine feminines, we don't actively want to be in 4D or 3D's business, but we can't help but spot them. So I will make fun of these lovely human beings as they will make fun of me. And that's actually why an inner child adult doesn't take things personally. That's another part of true spirituality. I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm a grown woman, and actively, even as a young adult, I still didn't, teenager. Only time I took things personally. So let's talk about 5D collective as this lovely portal again. So if you are really looking for truth, don't assume anything, just seek. Now, you can't seek yourself out by being in a shame, blame, fault, revenge, energy, or mindset of any type. You need to be able to talk to yourself with that, the very bare minimum, neutrality and duality. Okay, so here we go. Every day is a day where you get to choose to be true to who you are and to listen to your inner child, witness, process, and let go of the past charges that arise by integrating them, letting love guide you, setting healthy boundaries like an inner child adult who knows how to, aka our lovely functional adult. Thank you, Terry Real, for that word. Every day you can choose integration to pursue being yourself with inner and outer well-being. I know all about integration. Thanks, Daniel Siegel. And there's so many more, but I won't mention all of them today. And I probably won't mention all of them all the time in the first place, but you know what I'm talking about. Ask. Integration happens thanks to you being mindful with self-awareness, accountability, and regulation skills, and accepting what is, processing and uncharging the charges that come up. Yes, you have emotional, traumatic charges. You can use the words you want. I like the child charge parts I learned from Sue Martin. Thanks, Sue. And that's because they actively come up as that age group, the ones that we know about, I know about. So welcoming the parts of yourself back home into your mind, your divine masculine body, divine feminine. Then remember, we have a masculine the left, a little chit chatter, and the feminine is the right, where everything that comes up. If you can't contain this and know how to regulate, you're not a clear slate yet. You don't know how to put all your stuff to the past. No, it's right here, holding it. So this is my stuff, my trauma stuff, I won't project. See, clear slate doesn't mean it goes somewhere. It's right here. I can share it like a grown-up. I don't have to project it. Okay, great. So here's Pacha land. That's why we don't say we love you and take it back. We don't lie to you. Actively, we don't lie. We don't like lying. An inner child adult has no shame. This is a nice thing. So if somebody looks at you in the begin, they have shame. You don't take it personally. You're like, oh, shit. 3-year-old got shame. 1-year-old isn't independent. 16-year-old is leading the way, and that's it. It's done. Pacha again. We have fun with Cuscos all the time. There's bountiful of them out there, because they don't want to go back home to that stuff. It's all the unconscious, subconscious, but you see them prancing around with Elsa Journey mantles. Yes, 3D, 4D. They're quite beautiful as they follow 7 to 14 Charming, who pull the wool over the eyes only of people who don't own this and this. And you can tell who they are, by the way. So let me continue. As I was saying, integration happens when you want to be accountable, aware, regulate all this, and not be a Cusco. And that means that you welcome back home, the mind and body, but you have to be able to contain it, so have a visibility. Okay, so with inner harmony and an inner growth mindset that accompanies your mindfulness and mindset daily practices. So you're a person who does yoga, and you know demons don't come out of your body. You might do Reiki, you might do Akashic record readings. You know that that's not the last stop shop though, and you also know if you're not waking up more energized, you want a good therapist first, and then you can continue doing. No, it's not mantle stuff for true spirituality, true mystics, which is why anyone who has ever used the word we're anointed or special, I contain my divine feminine. Because now I know I got a human being with a 3-year-old that has a 1-year-old. That's a non-differentiated human being, and I'm not about to lecture any Kuska about anything because their ears are in biological rudeness, as Stephen Porges pointed out, which I hadn't noticed. And they don't notice their inner child. There's your 1-year-old attached, panicky, or their 3 to 7 shame submissive. And they don't notice their freeze or their 11, 12 flight or their 14, 15, 16 fight. And I got all the teenager unkindness that I wanted when I was one, and I noticed I don't fear inadequacy. I don't want to be around you at all actively. I'm going to choose my herd members, and I chose them carefully, yes. And I'm to this day, you tell me go to the past, I'd say, hey, good job, Maria. Great, keep going. Keep doing exactly everything. Everything, you leave it all the way it is. I won't tell you anything except for one. You're going to get magical powers. That's going to be fun. Because actively, that's the only thing, never in a million years, that I think I would have clairs, which are also spiritual gifts, which are also explainable by sciences. Please, I didn't know immediately it's my human makeup, which is why I said, no, we're not anointed. You sound like you think you might be somebody. Now I'm going to really shut up and walk away because now you're getting really disrespectful. I will go away now. There you go. So, being yourself is knowing in your mind, mind, which are thoughts. So the left mode, let's be nice left mode, unless you got an inner and outer critic and little vengeance coming out of here, which you can tend to, little person, because a little vengeance, they ain't no demon. Let's not put any little beautiful cloaks on them. There's nothing except for its trauma charges. Let me break it down to you like a 5-year-old. You want to get better? Good. Go to Patrick Tiahan, and he will help you to see, soothe, and become a healthy self-worth human being, and then you can join the functional adults because we heal trauma for real, because we are a safe haven, secure base to people. I don't want the people who want to have their little charges as they project. They look like Braveheart, except for that was really sad what they did to Braveheart. Okay, so being yourself, again, is knowing in your mind, thought, heart, emotion, and body, because we got a gut too, sensation that you're wanted just the way you are. Please remember, I am a freedom of speech, conscious, whatever, streaming all over the place. I don't mean words in a way of them being rocks. That's why my friend, a good friend of mine, called me a hypocrite. Today I say this, tomorrow I say that. This is actively enlightenment, by the way, which is really nice to explain. It's called I have an integrated brain, flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable. And when I hear anyone saying your brain can fall out of your ass, I laugh, because that tells me that that person has put a limit on their ability to seek anything. They think they know everything, and they think they can make complete thought and emotions as factual. And I'm just laughing inside because I don't know everything. You can't. Do you not see? This is that part of where's Maria? Right here. I don't know everything. You can't know everything. It's not a competition. I'm just saying you physically can't, because I want to know everything and I don't. I'm curious. There's Krishna Lila. I'm consistently curious. I want to know more. You don't know everything because I don't know everything. You see? Oh, and you're also part of me and I'm a part of you. We're one big ball of energy. So the reality is, yes, pure consciousness. It's infinite, unconditionally loving. You're not going to get it all. That's just, how it works. So let me continue. As we do notice, again, the body. I love my lovely body just the way it is. So body sensation that you're wanted just the way you are. To speak to yourself with neutrality, kindness, compassion, integrity, and awareness of the body, with emotional and trauma charges, and the mind with stories and knowledge that can involve distortions, biases, and what is a part of your past, your childhood, which is why it's very important to take note of that self of yours. Okay, so you take all the parts of you and use time to process, welcome, and make sense of yourself. Your sense of self, your narrative self, your relational self, and your core self. Thank you, Daniel Siegel, for that. And your lens or lenses, because we might have borderline personality lens or narcissism lens, or we might have dissociative identity disorder lens. So the lenses are important, as are the distortions, which go all the way back to your first year of life, second, third. Those are all implicit memory. Those are all sensations. And the non-bilaterally, non-integrated people, they first will need EMDR, child parts work, and somatics so that they can begin bilateral integration and to contain. Once you can contain, as Peter Levine says, that's a good start. So now we can contain. We know what our lenses are. We know the self, okay? We're out of the shame button by being able to see your inner child self and say, I see you. I soothe your nervous system. I'm learning to self-regulate with a good therapist a good therapist first, and then you continue with self-help, spiritual journey, and people around you, healthy, self-worth people that know because you tell them, here's my lenses, and here are my moods, and here's how I'm working with Dr. Daniel Fox. He shared a great short today. I might do a sharing it on our channel where he talks about how he can support anyone with those lenses to get out of maladaptive child behavior patterns. Those involve addictions and not fun ones. And the family in the head is also not fun. Okay, so there's a lot that goes behind a person's healing journey, and to have people who are securely attached is important for them because there's people do this. I forgave you. You came in yesterday and now you did this and I forgave you, and you're just repeating. I'm going to block you. I'm going to friend you because you have an attitude. So this to me is like, okay, if a person is not aware, you say, hey, look, your tone with okay. And at a certain point, like, okay, look, if you're having, a very significant way of behaving, I will make you aware to the best of my ability as a person of your herd. Something's up. We want to work with this. Okay. It's 2024. We get to talk about these things, and not by shaming or saying you're this. That's not, no, it's, I'm noticing a pattern here. Do we want to talk about it? Especially for those who are in romantic relationships, the talking part is, I want us to go to Terry Real and or some good therapist now, not tomorrow, because this is going to get adjusted because we love each other and we want to, whether you're monoamory or polyamory, doesn't matter. You love each other. You want each other's inner and outer well-being. This is what an actual human being who has no distortion of humans suck, you have to suffer, and all that other crap that people keep talking about with crappy movies, by the way. Okay, good. So here we are, self-aware people, accountable and regulating. We like life. We have every 24 hours we breathe. This is a gift, okay? You don't have to believe in anything. True spirituality is the same as integrated brain, restorative embodiment self. Your mammalian heritage, mine, I'm here. Come join us. Okay, so through self-awareness, accountability, and regulation skills, while applying an inner growth mindset to be yourself, you let go of all that doesn't serve and adjust distortions and unlovable lenses. So we still work on stuff. Why? Because we are always processing thoughts and emotions as we live being ourselves in our day-to-day life and relationships. So when you're done with therapy, you're not done. In fact, that's why people say, I want to do personal development, self-help. I want life. And they don't realize that's so sad. You did all that work, you paid all that money, and now you decided no. Okay, well, we leave them to them. When you welcome being yourself, the spirituality way, you will notice how this expands you and serves humanity in ever-changing and uncertain times where people don't know how to be their authentic self. And let's remember, as Sadhguru shares, spirituality, it is not a career, it is a lifestyle. And then he goes on to talk about things, and he's talking about your 1-year-old. He just doesn't know it. It's your attached panicky. So when you learn how to be your own safe haven, like when I regulate myself with panic attacks, it ain't a competition. Nobody's going to say, yay. But I'm most certainly not going to go to Nutshells Lady video on telling me how I can work through panic attack and say, are you telling me I have to put up with it? You don't know window tolerance, maybe. Maybe you don't understand embodied brain. Maybe you don't understand integration as a process of the actual brain. You must not know math. I know I don't know math, but I do know it takes 6 to 7 weeks for one neural receptor, whatever Daniel Siegel mentioned, to get hooked up and be nice and dandy. Then the myelin needs to lay down. And as he's explaining this, I'm like, I'm not the brain science lady, but I'm understanding that this is a process. It's like if I break a finger, and I am a Reiki practitioner. I'm not saying things can't happen, but I'm staying grounded in reality. I'm saying if I break a finger, so far, luckily for me, I haven't. But when I've got a cut, yeah, I do all the Reiki I want. The cut takes time to heal. I'm just, again, I know about miracles. Let's not talk about that one right now. That has a whole different purpose that I can talk to you about. Food for thought, but not in our channeled guidance for this lovely portal as it closes out. Okay, let me go back to reading. Where was I? So we are always processing, as I said, thoughts and emotions as we live being ourselves in our day-to-day life and relationships. When you welcome being yourself the spirituality way, you will notice how this expands you. Yes, consciously. It does. It's amazing. The more pure consciousness, the more pure energy, the more it's just wow. I don't even know where to begin. In ever changing and uncertain times where people don't know how to be their authentic self. So you still will meet a bunch of Cuscos out there, believe me, and they're very fascinating to say the least. People have a hard time staying grounded in being their authentic self in a sense of security that brings forth mental and emotional intelligence and physical mastery because they like to do Cusco's thing. Excuse me, you're confusing spirituality and sciences. No, I'm not. No. You see, I'm a mystic. I'm a mystic. Okay, hold on, wait. Excuse me. No, I bring them together. No. Let me do show and tell now. I'm a 3-year-old. Let me show and tell you. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, you know what? Let me turn around and pay attention to you just for 1 minute. There's my mindful listening and mindfulness in my human being Krishna Leela, because, I'm just humored at this point again. And I actively want to know what my other piece of consciousness has to say, because I won't know. Maria won't know what the fuck I'm a seeker. I'm like now curious. Okay, you know what? Here. And I've learned from other people. We probably just want to say the same thing. So tell me, 3-year-old, what is it? Yes, that is where I was going, but I'm still doing what I told you I'm doing. You just don't hear me because your left mode is all over it, Cusco. But thank you so much. I'm going to get back to my grown-up conversation. I'll be back later. And that's how it works. And it's not the only time. It's fun. See, I have fun because why not be humored? They're not actual 3-year-olds. They're grown-ups who don't even know what they're doing. But that's why I was saying they don't want to go to their birthright. Yes, it is actually, as I was trying to get to the rest of our sentences, every human's birthright to live a life where you get to be you, a life being you with integration and a restorative embodiment self, a mind body that uses a social engagement system thanks to being a safe haven and secure base with secure attachment where all of your child parts are uncharged and welcomed by you. So that's when your one true spirituality journey begins, because you're living a complete life where you can put the stuff of yours aside and engage. And so living a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. And you know how to regulate your nervous system and not project. So you know how to actively be a functional adult, which is really fun. You need to want to welcome all of yourself back home for this to happen. Okay, for all those child parts. And not everyone wants to pursue inner and outer well-being with mindset and lifestyle choices that integrate mindfulness, mindset, and inner growth through self-awareness, accountability, and regulation skills. Not everyone wants to enjoy leading life and relationships with a self-empowered mindset that involves neutrality and duality and the land of the truth on subjective reality. In fact, there's people that go and say, we need to make spirituality objective reality. And you look and you say, wow, I knew the sciences got really out of sorts now that they're looking with AI to disprove reality, and people talking about the moon not being and nothing being real at all. I'm just thinking, how did you come up with spirituality and objective reality? Just like the man who says lack of imagination with evil. I'm like, wow, that's a funny phrasing. But then again, I do funny phrasing too. There you go. So here it is, subjective. Ears. Okay, so the land of the truth on subjective reality, thoughts and emotions. That because you have them. They're always there. They're not going anywhere. That arise from differentiated selves. Here's an inner child adult. My name's Maria. I don't think and feel like my herd, meaning I want to use different words. Of course, the emotions are the same basic ones, but I don't have the same emotions they have for situations. See? Differentiated. Maria's Maria, 1-year-old, 3-year-old. I'm not you. It's called integration for that reason. I can do differentiation and then I link. And I'm in my prefrontal cortex, which is why I'm in a physiological state of compassion. And I don't become you. And I don't enmesh. And I don't do codependent. And don't you try to make me fit your little boxes. I'm inside you. Ah. And I'm just trying to be nice as a person who got told if you can't say something, don't say anything at all. So healthy boundaries. Yes. Anyone. Oh, I know how to set them. Don't come near my energy sphere. I'm going to flick you away. And laugh at the ones who think about energy vampires and dark auras sucking your energy. And that one is just like, whoa, 4D. You really need to get out of 4D, man. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone because when a brain is not integrated, that self and other default mode network is scanning like fuck, and they don't even know that they could notice if they noticed what chit chatter was going on in their brain, and then if they noticed what stuff was going on in their heart, and if they had gut wrench torn apart and hell in their body, and then their chit chatter is bullshitting another human being. I'm going to say, Cusco, you got a squirrel, and that squirrel needs a good therapist versus going around thinking that they're a mantle on Elsa's journey. Show yourself in a superhero or supervillain. Yeah, we spot them like a hawk. I mean, I can keep going because I see them all over the place. They're funny. It's funny because they keep wanting to blame Lucifer. Now the new age is Luciferian. This is just even getting more hilarious by the minute. And I'm thinking, don't you just want to go back to the ancients? They're still here. Just go to them. Oh, you don't like them anymore. I see. You want to be you're like the teenagers who say, we're not like that group. We're just copying them. Yes, the 5D is going to be like, that is, let me get back to reading because this is exactly what they was, the war, a non-differentiated self. Yep. So that's why people, they don't want to lead this neutrality life. No, there's not neutrality. It's not fair. No, there's no neutrality. We have our group leader right there. So all those non-differentiated selves, yes, they are an adaptive or maladaptive child with no adult. We got Pinocchio on the island becoming a donkey. We got Pinocchio with Stromboli, those codependent, unhealthy relationships where they say, don't touch my person. Let me be treated like a piece of shit. And let me hear all these other beautiful human beings, yes, who are wielding me. No, Peter Pan with Lost Boys, Lost Girls. Anybody watch how the Lost Boys think they're actively cool with Peter Pan? Anyone notice it? I do. Cusco is the best out of all. And then we got Sid, Manny, and Diego, and I'm just saying, Little Mermaid. She could have said, hey, Eric, I got a tail. My dad's making a big deal about me coming to Earth, but we can, talk about it. So that's how it works when you're okay with being yourself. That's where it's no. I do not fear inadequacy. No. Hell no. The more the cartoons are done and you're doing from whatever ancient time torture, yeah, I'm definitely not coming near that. It's not Lucifer at all. No, what it is you have armored yourself shut in maladaptive child behaviors. I'm waiting for Gabor Mate to come over and talk to you so that you can know what's going on. Or Russell Coates or Bessel van der Kolk or any of the good. Dr. Daniel Fox, go on over and let them know of the elevator and how they can get out of hell if they go and do good therapy. They're all surrounded. Any person who doesn't have their inner and outer well-being in the forefront, that doesn't want to enjoy life, I surround them with good therapists. That's it. Then the middle ground, well, they keep on, making it easy for us to talk about topics. Yes. So the non-differentiated self, adaptive child or maladaptive child with no adult, basically. So you're not using a prefrontal cortex, so they're not self-aware. They don't do self-accountability. No, and they don't like to be a regulating, mindful person. So they will project their human suffering. They will vomit. Whatever it is, it's okay, though. Pachas know how to handle all of the Cuscos. There's only so many patterns that are out there that I've met so far. Because the ones who are at the very end of Michael Stone forensic criminologist scale, yeah, that's not going to happen unless, I have a herd. I've chosen them. I'm selective and picky. See, self-empowered women, men, and days, we don't let anyone into our herd. No. Oh, it's not about you being not decent enough for me to salute you. It's that you don't know healthy boundaries. You don't know how to walk, talk, or do anything. And I'm pretty sure Pinocchio is waiting for you on the island. So we're going to notice something. It's called your inconsistencies have my ears perk up. And I'm a solo polyamory person. I'm independent for a reason. I can rely on Maria being able to be her own gooey, ooey, ooey, safe haven, secure base. Like the best out of the best. This is right here. You know why? I live inside my body. And I know when my nervous system is upset, if I have a tummy ache, if I have an earache, if I have a bad dream. But also, do you want to know why? Guess what happens when Pacha is Pacha and you meet Cuscos? Yeah, that's a very interesting story. But you know what a Pacha knows? Well, it's normal. Everyone has a self, and that's why I can be my 1-year-old self-regulating and not say, women learned how to have to deal on their own. So, let me help you to learn how to keep a man. You need to give him a meaning. Sure, I will, lady. You go give your man a meaning. I'm going to say that ain't my man, and he ain't mine anyways, because the fact that a piece of life doesn't know how to find secondary consciousness in the Wikipedia and know, oh, look, I deal with uncertainty unwanted all the time. I'm going to die and I don't like it. I don't want to accept that. Oh, I don't have feelings. I don't give a shit about knowing about meaninglessness. Yes, you do. Liar, liar, pants on fire. So this is where woman, man, or they doesn't matter. Enlightenment. By the way, Zen Master, the laundry, really, I have to say, I'm going to tip my hat because I know you got a different journey, but wow, you want people to call you Zen Master and you can't handle emotions like an emotional being? Where's the wisdom of the body and the mind? You haven't achieved integration, which is when you're going to connect to Purusha Prakriti, the essence of love, the essence of life. God, call it what you want. It's all one and in the same for a brain of a mystic here. By the way, sciences, I'm happy they're out there. I'm happy I'm not a scientist. I'm the pseudoscience lady. There's a reason. I get the best of both worlds because I do know how lovely Daniel Siegel come back in. When he does the course, Consciousness and Change, I love it. I'm like, I'm always in that hub, Daniel. I can't wait to see him again. So the inner child, yes, we love unconditionally with our flaws and imperfections, and we do create relationships and the life with functional adults, love, language, and behavior. So seeking means admitting that you don't know. Yes, I don't know everything. Once you have cleared your slate, I am a clear slate. Truth can imprint itself upon it. This means Maria's stuff is right here on the side. I don't have anything. When I'm present with you, it's because I'm curious, open, accepting, and loving with Krishna Leela, because I have no low self-esteem. You come at me with whatever you got. I have a buttload of people that have come at me with shit, and I just laugh more and more. One of them was hilarious. As they ended this letter, and this was a while back, lovely regular listeners know the story, but as they ended this letter with a quote-unquote cheap shot, and I just was like, well, you know, when it comes to this thing right here, I actively know what it is because they were bringing into the mix my active relationships, my lovely twin flames. And so whenever anybody wants to bring in my romance, I'm like, yeah, are you trying to tell me that there's something that I didn't want? Because I actively know that I'm good with everything because, you know, I wake up again. So when you know how to be your own safe haven, secure base, it's because you know how to reassure a 1-year-old. The inner child adult of you is in you. And not everyone's always going to have that compassion. Yeah, they don't have the capacity to be a clear slate and to listen to you, the non-differentiated self people, which is why for Pacha, we just say, yeah, you learn how to sit in silence, inside, outside, all of it. There's only one human being in my 44 years of life that actively made me aware that they were aware. And that's because though they cared and they were curious. And that's why it's a beautiful friendship. In fact, there's always expanding with that human being because they're a differentiated self. So they're not saying you're going to have to be like me. And then I have other people. So when you meet differentiated selves, you're going to know who they are because they're pieces of consciousness. They're a piece of their own life. And then you get to have fun all the time, not just sometimes. In fact, the whole bullshit of love having to be suffering. I mean, I knew that that was bullshit as a kid because as I have gotten told, I didn't sacrifice anything. You're not a sacrifice. I love you. And let me explain to you. So when you get held with equanimity, you get explained. I don't have time, but I'll be right back. And you get to be told it's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be inner child adult. And I look forward to being back with another episode. This one again, some channeled guidance as we close our lovely portal. Love unconditionally. And let's remember that we get to heal trauma one person at a time, one relationship at a time here because we do personal development, self-help, the spiritual way because you're 5D mystic and some of you are also embracing true spirituality. Lifestyle is like a decent human being, so you can call it a somatic empath. It's a integrated brain, restorative embodied self human being. I've met plenty of them in the sciences community, so they call us woo-woo. It's okay. We're not offended like those who are from 4D land and think, oh, I got offended because they didn't believe me. The teacher didn't believe. Dad, she said the teacher doesn't need to believe you. They're sciences, don't you know? So mystics understand why sciences, you know, to me, again, I got the best of both worlds because I actively know as a feminine, sciences keeps me grounded, gives me the actual truth, allows me to be a person who will actively continue to do my best to respect those who are not divine feminines, but they think they are. And they think they are just because of their clairs that they treat like magical powers, which are not magical powers. And then they go and they disrespect and insult another group of our same herd. And they insult them, yes, because you actively will think that you can do better life for the other person. Automatically, you're a codependent human being. You don't know Patrick Tiahan, go meet him so you can get out of in your brain thinking like a martyr, superior, or blamer, or thinking of yourself as a program, as a technology, as a computer, anything that takes away your humanity. That's actively not you saying, I'm a person who has emotions first. And that means I'm sensitive. And that means that I'm not a burden. I'm sensitive because I have sensations, images, affects, meanings, and behaviors that come up. And that's because my body is full of my 0 1 year old, my 3 to 7 is full of your child stuff. And one thing, you not knowing that you can be a child for the rest, yes, every one of us is a child for the rest of our life because they don't go anywhere. At least if you want to believe in sciences. And now, if you want to chase Dr. Daniel Siegel and Bezo van der Kolk and all these other attachment trauma, go for it. He already gets chased, by the way, down the hallways. But in the meantime, here's where beauty of 5D land, Christ consciousness. Jesus taught me everything that I learned now how to explain even better. And so again, seekers, we're going to close. When lovely Sadhguru was asked about who would be considered a deity, something like that in the Western world, because the person who was interviewing them was asking about that. He says Darwin, because he left room for life to grow. So when you hear the word life from a Sadhguru, or if I start using it more, you hear the word, I try not to use soul or spirit, but you can use whatever words, but life, use your human name, consciousness. You have secondary and primary. Do not, if you want to be whole, make yourself out to be some machine. You're not. You have a 1 year old. You were 1 year of age. You were 2 years of age. You were 3 years of age. You were you, not me. Mindfully aware. You. I know all about me. That's why I use that we term. Now I know because Dr. Daniel Siegel, again, he doesn't realize I had looked at the we thing with a friend of mine, another lovely, differentiated, empowered woman. And I thought it might be the guides because, we talk about guides and tapping into the energy sphere. There's between guides, galactic forces, angels, you name it. You name the crew that can be with you. I don't focus in on it because it's all one and in the same. I don't have to. The ones who get so specific, it's like they're trying. I'm like, that's a waste of my time. I know I'm channeling when I'm channeling. I know all I don't need to. If I want to, I can hone in on who is actively channeling or da-da. But anyways, the we thing, I got to understand it because Dr. Daniel Siegel, he shares how we have those parts of self. Some call them child parts. We got the IFS model. Some call, so they all have these different words. And it's all of mine are one because I'm using my prefrontal cortex. I'm the life that is breathing and talking to you. So welcome aboard 5D Collective. If you're curious, we will have membership content. You can support the channel by donating or by joining the membership content. And then there's a one-to-one if you're interested, inquire, and masterclass will be closed number. Inquire, I am still building that. And we have audio version podcasts on Spotify and all these other podcast episodes. I'm planning on getting a couple out, maybe one today, but one every Friday for sure for now. And here we'll find out what the schedule is as I get to decide it. Again, thank you for stopping by. We'll be back with more. Have a good one.